Hey, MCE crew. Today, let's separate the sexy from the sustainable when it comes to investments in green energy. This whole green energy revolution that we're going through is going to end up a lot different than you might think based on all of the hype, hubbub, and press that certain businesses, certain companies, and certain technologies are getting right now. You got to understand that back in, the late 90s, we had the dot-com boom and then bust after that. There was a lot of hype about a lot of companies, and where are they now? So these technological revolutions always end up actually being a lot different than they looked in the beginning. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to share with you who I see as the true winners of this, the can't miss winners of this. Okay. In the meantime, I want to let you guys know I'm joining you from a building that we had put up on our property. This building is going to act as an office. We are, paying attention to the tea leaves here. And we have gotten rid of our office space, our commercial office space, where we used to meet clients and things like that. We're not going to meet clients here, but we're doing a lot more in terms of meeting clients remotely for real estate and financial services. And if we need to meet a client in person, of course, we have ways to do that. But this will be the hub for our financial services and real estate businesses from the standpoint of administration. And you know what? Because this is a business expense, it comes along with a lot of tax benefits, okay, that are afforded to people who do different things with real estate and their businesses. So as I always tell you, the investment where you're going to get the best returns, financial returns, are your own business if it's managed correctly. So consider that as you go through. With this channel, we don't just talk about investing in the stock market or in the real estate market or in commodities. No, we talk about investing in your own business and your own self, your number one asset. So let's talk about how it's going to look when we get out there and 10 years from now. What's this whole green revolution going to look like? Now, Greta aside,
blah, 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 blah.
The technology that a lot of people are sleeping on, technology that's been out there forever, technology that is raining down upon me right now. And no, I'm not talking about solar. Well, in a way I am. I'm talking about nuclear energy, okay? The sun is a gigantic nuclear reactor, and it looks like there's a lot of interest lately in nuclear power. Bill Gates is building a mini nuclear reactor in coal country, okay? So there's some interest from him. But what's really fascinating is that the European Union is considering including nuclear energy as well as natural gas as an ESG or an environmentally sustainable investment. They're looking at doing that and codifying that in their economic laws. And if they do that, then nuclear energy, I've talked to you before about uranium and my interest in that from an investment standpoint. From an investment standpoint, FBI, I don't want to actually own uranium. But I do want to make money off of it. So I've talked to you about that. And another one. So we've got Bill Gates. We've got the European Union with them including that in an economic plank. And then we've got China. China is actually looking at building dozens of nuclear reactors over the next decade. Okay, so there's going to be a big push for those elements that can help power those plants, specifically uranium. All right. So when you talk about natural gas, nuclear, and coal, they actually in America form the overwhelming, they're 80% of where we get our electrical power. Now, some people don't understand where we get our electricity. These are usually the same people that don't understand how money works or macroeconomics. So, for example, you hear a big push in New York City right now. They're talking about, well, they're mandating that all buildings by a certain point do away with gas-powered heating and switch to electric. Okay, so gas-powered stoves, gas-powered furnaces, water heaters, they're doing away with those and they're switching them out to electric. That's a mandate by New York City. They're also doing away with oil as well. Okay, you know, some homes and buildings get oil to heat. Well, they're doing away with that by law in New York. But here's the funny part. They're just doing away with the natural gas coming to the end user. The electricity is still being provided overwhelmingly by natural gas, coal, and nuclear power. So you certainly can't have a nuclear reactor in your home, right now at least. Maybe one day that technology will be a reality, but not right now. And, you know, the whole push is to get rid of coal. And to an extent, I understand that simply because coal is finite. So is natural gas. Natural gas is a fossil fuel. But nuclear, not only is it sustainable, but that thing can, you know, outlast us by leaps and bounds, okay? With a very small amount of material, you can power a city for a great amount of time. Now, here in my area, we have the Calvert Cliffs Nuclear Power Plant in Maryland. It's where we get a lot of our electricity from. So how does this relate to making money? Well, we talked about uranium and looking at opportunities for uranium. The other thing we've got going on right now is this massive push for electrification. So to the extent that New York City is going to do away with natural gas and oil coming in and powering the water heater, the furnace, then there's going to be a tremendous need for what? Copper, okay, to facilitate the electrical transmissions needed to power these buildings in New York City. And New York City is a highly concentrated place in terms of population. California is doing this also. California also, South Central LA, that area, I think that might be the most populated, highly concentrated and populated area in America. So, copper, okay? See, I'm separating the sexy from the sustainable. You can get out there and you can talk about, you know, Tesla and, oh my God, if you go to a party and say you own a share of Tesla, you're the belle of the ball. And look, I like Elon Musk a lot. I think that what he's doing with SpaceX, I really, really like that. And look, I see a lot of Teslas on the road. So the guy's doing something right. Okay. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with owning Tesla in your portfolio. Not at all. But, you know, Tesla has an underlying technology that powers it. These Teslas can't get out on the road and drive around as ubiquitously as they have them, without copper. Okay. And then beyond that copper, when they plug that in, a lot of people still think, a lot of Americans don't know where the hell their electricity comes from. They just plug something into the wall and, you know, behind your wall, there's a unicorn and he puts his horn down and he connects and boom, you got power. That's what a lot of folk seem to think. No, this energy source called electricity has different power sources or different things that make it possible or enable it. So that's what I'm going to be taking a greater look at here is, like I said, I've talked about uranium in the past, copper. Okay, these are hard assets. Now, again, I know right now, what is it? Crypto sexy. Okay. Whoo. What else? NFTs, non-fungible tokens, sexy. My. But these older technologies and commodities that have stood the test of time, they're going to be what underpins all of that. The metaverse, you can't have it without electricity, and you can't have electricity without copper. Okay, and you can't have electricity without some way to generate that power, right? So all of that is things that you need to be taking a look at. Let me end this with, we're talking to somebody, okay, and a lot of people still just don't get it with regard to the banks. You got your money in a bank. We talked to somebody who's got their money in a bank and just has just resisted. You would think they're a bank president. They don't invest in the bank. They don't own shares of the bank. They got their money in a savings account. They got their money in a savings account in 2021 where you're not even getting 0.5% in most brick and mortar banks, and you're only getting 0.5% in the online banks. Do the rule of 72 on that one. Based on your age, you'll probably be maybe about 300 years old by the time your money doubles. So we're trying to convince this person, hey, look, you got to come away from the bank, because what the bank is doing is they are using the fractional reserve lending technique to take in your $1,000, multiply that by 10. Now they can lend out $10,000 at 4% interest, and they're giving you 0.3% interest. And that's just not a good deal, especially in an environment where we've got core inflation at over, well, almost 7%, and true inflation, when you count gasoline, energy in general, and food, over 14%. Okay. And the bank's giving you 0.3%. This person just does not understand it. They don't grasp it. They want, in their terms, their word, they want safety. They want a guarantee. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. I cannot guarantee you that the sun is going to set this evening. Now, you might say, well, there's a good possibility it will. Yeah, but it might not set for you. Okay. Depending on what happens throughout the day. You might set before the sun. Hopefully not. But you see where I'm going with that. Okay, so this person is just losing money at a prodigious clip. And their fear and lack of understanding as to how money works has got them stuck in this paradigm where the bank is treating them like a sucker. When you go into the bank and they got the lollipops, you are what you eat. Okay, and if you got a savings account right now, you're a sucker. Okay, plain and simple, because you're getting poorer rapidly. And at the same time, you're allowing the bank to get wealthier. Why not look at an investment in a bank? When the interest rates do start to go up, the banks are going to do well with that because they'll be able to charge more interest and make more money. Okay, you think that when the interest rates go up, how far do you think they're going to raise the interest rates on a savings account? Okay, yeah, right. So this is what we got going on right now, guys. I keep you posted with the progress of this office that we've got going on the property, and how we have decided just to come away from the commercial real estate leases that we had and the rent that we were putting down, and, you know, do a little something different, something that makes the commute maybe about 50 feet. So there you have it. More to come on that. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.